Hello Virgo, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Virgo is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It is totally free, it doesn't cost anything to subscribe. If there's anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Virgo, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Seven of Swords. This feels to me like this is a resistance to distractions right now. I feel like you're fixed. You are hyper focused on something, even though there's a lot of other things that are sort of screaming in your ear. It's like you're able to block out all of those distractions. Okay, it's like you're in the middle of a crowded room. You're at like a heavy metal concert, and you're able to focus on like whatever book you're reading or something. Like you're able to block out all the noise. And I find that is that's such a powerful chant. That's like that. This is an opportunity for you to really get some stuff done. To really learn the material, really make the changes, really do the thing. Right, because you have this ability to really truly focus right now. Let's put this card into a little bit of context. I do feel like there are some other voices in your life. Look at that. We got that Six of Pentacles. So in all the noise and everything that's going on around you, you're able to focus in such a way that you're succeeding at what you're doing. Okay. I also feel, for some reason, I feel like you do some sort of sacred dance, or dancing is in some way a ritual for you. Yeah. Okay. Spirit's saying that you met somebody at I don't know if it's a meditation retreat or some kind of maybe it was a vacation, maybe it was some kind of a lodge. I feel like it was outdoors, and there were a lot of almost like little huts or bungalows or tents or something, like little cabins maybe. But I feel like it was kind of maybe a meditation retreat or some kind of something like that. Yeah. Anyway, we got a Hierophant down below here. We have an Eight of Wands, a Princess of Cups, a Two of Swords. We have the Star card. We have the Art or Temperance card here. We've got a Queen of Swords, and there it is. There's the Hermit, your superpower card. That is the card that rules the sign of Virgo, is that Hermit energy. And again, I don't feel that it's actually you going Hermit mode. I feel like it's your ability to be in that crowded room, but still be like Zen, like meditation, focus, And if you're having this intense ability to focus right now, now's the time for you to know what to do. Don't let this power that you have go to waste, right? Nothing worse than having all of this, the opportunity and the resources are there, but it's just like, I don't know what to put it toward. I don't know what to do with it, right? And before we figure it out, the moment's gone. So if you have this ability to really focus your mind, use it. Know what you're going to use it for, okay? And I think that's really the Two of Swords. It's kind of like, well, you got this superpower now to block out noise, block out distraction, and really get your work done. What do you want to do with it? Are you writing a book? Are you developing some sort of skill? Are you trying to solve a problem? Are you trying to, maybe you're at school, university, maybe you're at a job, a new career, whatever it is that you're focusing on now. You have a real skill to tune out the distractions and get your work done and actually accomplish what you're doing. Make a lot of progress here through this kind of focus. This is really, really nice. We're going to select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down right here with Tiny Bob Ross right on top. Happy little Bob. Maybe the meditation retreat thing maybe it has something to do with that. I mean, this is kind of how you've been practicing this skill of tuning out the world in order to really hyper-focus on the work at hand. Okay. If you have a prediction for this mystery card at any point during the reading, put something down in the comments below. Okay. Now let's take a look around the room here. We have good major arcana energies. 1, 2, 3, and of course your superpower card. We have the Hierophant and the Star, right? And the Hierophant is kind of this energy of teaching. It's maybe you're the one teaching that meditation. Maybe this is the card that's saying the whole meditation retreat impression that I was getting was really your ability to teach mindfulness practices, or teach critical thinking, or to teach concentration exercises to people. You know, I feel like maybe this is a skill that you've just kind of mastered. You know, I don't know that we ever truly master it, but this is telling me that you're very proficient in this kind of skill, that you maybe you have a long-term meditation practice. Maybe it is something that you've been cultivating, this ability to tune out the external world and focus on what you're doing. And I like that we have that Eight of Wands there as well, because I think the Eight of Wands is showing that you weren't always like that. Sometimes you may have been a little scatterbrained, right? Sometimes your attention may have been all over the place, that we just can't seem to focus it on anything. We can't seem to narrow it down and get it fixed on what we're doing, the work at hand. You know, that here we're always just being pulled in different directions by all of these different things. And I like that this is fire energy, because it really is important with the visual, your visual experience, your visual attention, what you look at. If you're able to fix your eyes on something, then you're kind of everything else is gonna fade. Everything else is gonna sort of fade to like gray, right, or white. And you're just gonna see that thing that you're looking at. And that's the way you fix your visual attention. And I think your mental attention is also kind of flows in that direction. Wherever your eyes go, your mind goes. Wherever your mind goes, you know, the rest of you goes too. And that's what you sort of are focusing on. So this is kind of like the visual field, because the fire cards, the wands, represent the power of sight, right? So we kind of have an inability to really focus on what we're doing. But through whatever this process is for you, and maybe this is through your own spiritual mindfulness, meditation, concentration practice, you've developed this skill. Maybe you went to a retreat and learned some new techniques. Maybe you were an instructor at one of these retreats, or you were the one facilitating it. Okay, because I feel there is sort of an expertise in you. There is something in you that kind of knows how to just get down and do the work. And like, maybe you're one of these people that can sleep anywhere. Like, you could be on just the noisiest subway car and you can just fall asleep. You could be in the middle of that rock and roll concert, heavy metal concert, and you can just focus. Everything's just, it quiets down and you're able to focus on what you're doing. You're like writing your term papers or something, you know, like working out your doctorate thesis or something in the middle of this just, you know, noise, right? And you're able to really focus on whatever you intentionally choose, you know. And I think that, again, this is something that you've been working on, I think, your whole life, trying to cultivate this ability. The Six of Pentacles that we have here is material success. So whatever you've been focusing on this intensely, you're going to accomplish it, whether this is your doctorate, thesis, a term paper, or some kind of a book you're writing. I feel like you're a writer of some kind. I feel like there's information coming out of you onto, like, as the written word anyway, whatever form, you know. But these two together are really saying that it's important for you now to utilize this skill, because you're about to complete something. You're about to be successful at something. You got to block out the noise, focus on the work at hand, and get it done. No matter how tempting the noise is, no matter what's going on out there, you've got to resist these distractions, right? Because you're about to achieve something extraordinary. Yeah. It is the fulfillment of a dream. You're about to accomplish a dream here. Manifest it. This is the Princess of Cups. It's right above everything. On the path of this is what is above your head. This is what is inspiring you every single day. I feel like you have maybe it's one of those like a porcelain or ceramic Buddha statues. I feel like you have one of those or something very close to you, or maybe it's a kind of a goddess statue, but I kind of see like a white ceramic kind of thing. And it almost feels like whenever you're getting a little bit frustrated or distracted, or you're feeling slowed down, or you're just kind of feeling like you're losing focus a little bit, I feel like you just sort of gaze over at this statue thing, and it like gives you a little bit more heart, and then you're able to really lock in again. Yeah. And that's kind of what I feel the Princess of Cups is here. It's this idea of the dream is always at the forefront of your mind. It's always there above you, inspiring you. And whenever you start to doubt yourself, or you start to get tired, or you feel like you're losing focus, or you're frustrated, or things aren't working out the right way, you sort of think about this. This is your dream. This is your goal. This is your aspiration. This is what you want. This is your highest and truest and most pure, authentic desire in the world. Well, I better get back to work. That it really inspires you to keep going here. And I think that's extraordinary. The Two of Swords here is, in some ways, this idea of choice, right? And we do have a choice in what we focus our attention on. It may not always feel that way, but, for instance, I find it very difficult to read a book when there are other things going on in the room, like people talking or the TV's on or something. I can't really focus on the written words and hear myself saying them while I'm also listening to other people in the room, or the TV's on, or the people talking. So we need to learn how to turn one off and turn the other one on, okay? Because we're giving equal attention to the other people in the room and their conversation, or to the TV. And then we're also trying to give 50% of our attention to the book we're reading, or the thing we're writing, or the thing that we really are trying to listen to in our headphones or something, And so it's possible to give 50-50 attention, but I don't think we're really going to achieve the success that we really want unless we can give more attention to the thing, more like 100% attention over here, and block the TV out completely. I don't know if that's really possible. Maybe we do like 80-20, I think that's a pretty good ratio. But we have to learn that it's a choice. And I think that through whatever practice you have in your life right now, you're understanding how it really is a choice, that we really can turn it on and off. If we develop that skill, it's something that we're definitely capable of. Okay. I also feel that this was, at the beginning I said, you have this opportunity now to really buckle down, hyper-focus on what you're doing. You got to know what to do. You got to know what you want to do, and how to utilize this time correctly. Okay, the Two of Swords, it's basically it's a card that says we want that peace of mind. We don't want to have to worry about what we're doing. We don't want to have to make decisions. The decisions should already be made, in other words, right? We want to sleep easy at night. We want this peacefulness within us that is just, I don't have to worry about choice, And sometimes this is, I think a lot of the time, this is the reason for those kind of meditation retreats, or I don't know if that's what it was, but it feels like you were in a place where there was less choice. You could have been in jail for all I know, But I feel like it was just it was a peaceful setting because there were no choices to make. It's kind of like you're at the meditation retreat, and it's just like someone else's, this is the food, this is what you're doing today. There's nothing for you to choose. There's nothing for you to decide. There's nothing for you to do other than, just kind of sit and meditate, or whatever the activities are. So by removing the excess choice in our life, it gives us this sort of peacefulness to just do what we need to do, because I don't have to decide 1,000,001 sort of frivolous things. Okay, and I think that's why in a lot of spiritual or religious orders, things are really stripped down, bare minimum simplicity, right? Minimalist simplicity, because then there's not this worry, right? That we have very easy choices to make, or there is no choice. This is what's for dinner. No one's asking you what you want, you know. No one's asking you to make a decision. So I feel like that frees up a lot of mental bandwidth for you to focus on what you're doing. Sometimes the Seven of Wands it represents just that. There are too many things going on around us that are distracting us from that central sword, that Ace of Swords right in the middle, which is what we should be doing, what I should be focusing on. But now I've got a million people asking me a million questions. I can't focus on what I need to do. We take the two, and so this becomes a lot of mental chaos, right? But you take that Two of Swords, and this is now peace of mind. This is now saying all the choices are gone. I've simplified my life to such a degree that I have very few choices to make. Very few choices to make. And even those choices, maybe we just flip a coin, right? What color am I going to wear today? White or black? Flip a coin. It doesn't matter, right? Because that's not where we want to put our mental bandwidth, at least right now, because you're trying to accomplish something major, okay? And so we have this simplification, and that maybe is where I'm getting some of that, like that meditation retreat sort of energy for you, okay? Now, we're going to talk about the path of the serpent. As we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free, doesn't cost anything. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. Yeah. Okay, so your general energy is the Star card. I feel like you're somebody who understands that in order to produce what we want to produce in the external world, to create our life, to manifest our will, to fulfill our destiny in an active external way, we need the internal purification. We need the internal calm and peace, right? We need to let the spiritual light in and show us what's going on, show us where all of our energy is being consumed by these buttons we have, by these knots of karma, by these sore spots and these weak points. It's just eating up our energy, right? Eating up, it's things that entangle our spirit, right? So we understand that we have to let a lot of this stuff go. We have to simplify things right now. I think the Spirit really is trying to get you in this simplified, minimalist kind of energy. I feel like you've been smudging lately, sage or something similar, to sort of clear the air, clear the space in your temple, in your room, in your office, in your studio, or whatever the case might be. There's a suggestion that there is a connection with a school here for you. Maybe a spiritual or religious school or order. Maybe you're a teacher or an instructor or a mentor. But there's some sort of connection with you and the passing on of knowledge. Okay. For some reason, Spirit is saying to keep your secret safe for now. Okay? So whatever is happening in your life and happening to you and through you does not need to be shared with everybody, because then guess what? Everybody's going to have an opinion, and you're going to have to, it's going to take up your mental bandwidth. Sometimes it's easier to just not offer up all of this information. You know what I mean? You're opening up cans of worms with everybody. So it's best to just, there isn't this sort of egoic desire in you to tell everybody what you're doing, because you're so excited and you're so proud of what you're doing that you want to just share it with everybody. But then guess what? That's going to take all of your time and energy. Okay, so it's kind of it's almost like a silence kind of thing that I'm feeling, where it's just not because there's anything wrong with it, not because you don't want to share it, but because you just need to keep that energy that you don't have. I mean, in a very real way, you ain't got time for that, And so there isn't this need to tell everybody, what you're doing. Who in your life has the really bright green eyes? Really, really, really bright. Like you'd see that and you'd be like, well, they're wearing contacts or something. Really bright green, yeah. The next card in your environment is the pressure cooker, and this could be very much that theme, that you are under tremendous pressure. This is the art or temperance card. And in some way, it's a card of, kind of just using what's around, right? That we don't have to stress ourselves out and worry ourselves about all of the different ingredients, all of the different choices that we need to make and things like this, that we just sort of use what we have. Okay. With the art card, it kind of feels like this is found art, right? This is somebody that is just finding things in their life and putting them together in a way that creates this beautiful sculpture, right? It's kind of like, it's like junkyard sculpture, where it's just whatever's kind of lying around, I'm going to make something out of it. Yeah. And so there isn't this obsession over resources. It's more about the process of creation than it is about organizing, finding resources, and making sure I have the very best materials. It's like, you're a painter. You're not going to worry about the brush and the paint and the quality of the paint. I got to buy the canvas, and I need the right palette. I got to get the hat, and I got to get the right smock or whatever on. No, it's just like lick your finger, wipe it in the mud, and start painting. It's kind of like, it's just it's primitive almost. Yeah. I feel like this is your style. This is the way you're approaching things. I feel like it's bare minimum. You don't have a paintbrush, you got a finger. You don't have a magic wand? Well, you got your finger here. We don't need all these elaborate tools to do the job right now. Okay? You don't need all of these fancy gadgets and things in your life. I feel like you just need like some old pencil or something to write your poetry on a napkin or something. It's like it doesn't require a lot of materials right now. Yeah. But this feels, again, it feels kind of like the pressure cooker. And so it feels like it is a temporary isolation from other people. Again, like a meditation retreat kind of vibe is what I'm getting. I'm also feeling that I don't know if you keep old concert tickets or something like that. Like I feel like you have a binder or a book or something that has all of these tickets or something in there. I don't know if they're concert tickets or festivals or something like this, or I don't know if they're receipts, but it's almost like for their mementos. Yeah. I feel like this is a period of time of hyper focus for you. I feel like the heat is on, the pressure is on, that you really are, for some reason, you need to complete something in a short period of time. And so we're not worried about materials. We're not worried about talking about it. We got to focus and do it. There's that hyper focus kind of energy. So it feels as if you're taking a bit of a magical retirement at this time in order to focus on something very important for you. The Queen of Swords is next, and it's in sort of the obstacle position. Okay. And it's a card of detachment. It's a card of perspective. It's a card of taking a time out and looking at the bigger picture. Okay. And I feel like that's difficult for you to do because you're kind of thinking, well, I've got to stay in this zone. I've got to stay in this focused energy and get something done here. We kind of feel like there's not really a lot of time for the detached, objective viewpoint of things. And so what this sort of does is it's the effort of bringing in a little bit of mindfulness. And I mean that in a way like of seeing yourself from an out of body kind of vantage point. Like you're above and behind you and you're looking down and observing yourself. Okay. Because maybe, the Eight of Wands, right? There is, I guess, a little bit of risk in the hyper-focused energy, just as in this sort of the scatterbrained energy that I'm calling the Eight of Wands here, and this lack of focus. There's also kind of a risk in this, in trying to be too hyper-focused, that we might be missing the wood for the trees. Yeah, that we might have to take a time out and take the bigger picture and really look at it. Because if we're so focused on the details and we're so zoomed in, right, with a very narrow eye line, yeah, we're missing context. We're missing like the bigger picture and how everything fits together because we're so focused on this thing that we're doing right now, right here, that maybe we need to take in a little bit of what's going on around us. Okay. So this is, I think, suggesting that it's important for you to sort of lift your head up once in a while and take a look around the room and then get back down to work, you know, to see what's going on around you. See what's going on in your life and in the context in which you are so that we don't detach from the environment too much. Does that make sense? And that, of course, is a risk for the hermit as well. The hermit very much can isolate from the world around them. It's kind of like, you know, you imagine you're at that rock and roll concert and you blocked out all the noise and you're sitting there writing your term paper for university or something, like you're scratching, your poems on some napkins or something with a pencil. And that's that hyper focus. But guess what? You're missing the concert. Why are you even at the concert? We didn't ask that. Why are you there if you're going to just block it all out and try to focus on the work at hand? Maybe once in a while you do need to sort of lift up your head and realize you're there with your best friends. You're seeing a band that you really, really love, and we want to be present in that moment. Okay? And I think that if you don't want to do that, why are you at the heavy metal rock concert? Okay? So I think we have to look at the absurdity of that. It's like, well, why not just stay home and stay focused or stay at the meditation retreat and do what you need to do? Why are we here in this context? So it kind of is, it's making me wonder if like you're being just sort of pulled around in different directions in life. You're going here, you're going there, you're doing this and doing that, but really you're just trying to sort of block it all out and focus on something else. We're not really present in the moment. You're not there, right? So that's not mindfulness. Yeah. That's not being present. So I think we need to ask ourselves if there's a little bit of that kind of absurdity here. It's like, well, I'm being driven to this event, that event, I'm going here, I'm going there, I'm seeing all these other people, but I'm not present through any of it. In my mind, I am somewhere else doing something else, or I'm literally, doing something else, focusing on something else. It might be a good opportunity to ask ourselves, like, okay, why am I at this heavy metal concert if I don't really want to be here? If there's something else I'd rather be doing, I should just be doing that in a better context. So there's some sort of a mismatch there like that. Yeah. The hermit energy, of course, is your superpower. You have that ability to be in any kind of a situation and to be elsewhere. Okay, elsewhere. And it's a real skill to focus. You can be alone in a crowded room. You can have inner silence and inner peace in the middle of that heavy metal concert. Why be at the concert? Okay. So if you're at the concert, be at the concert. Engage with the world around you. Engage with where you are. We don't have to be at a meditation retreat and say, okay, I'm at the meditation retreat and this is where I'm going to meditate and focus and all this kind of stuff. We can do that at home. We can do that at the rock concert, but then why be at the rock concert? Or if this isn't a meditation retreat, maybe this was supposed to be a vacation. Maybe this was supposed to be a trip that you took with your family or your friends or something, but you weren't engaged in that. Okay? So the hermit is asking, where in our life are we physically present, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually absent, checked out? Right? It's a wonderful skill to have. And I think that you're doing it for a reason because you're trying to accomplish something. But we have to ask, we have to at least be able to see that. So it's just asking for recognition. It's not saying you need to do it differently. I think Spirit's just asking you to acknowledge that. Okay? There's something about a window. A window broke recently. Or there's some Spirit showing me a window. I don't know if it's got stained glass on it or if the light is shining through it in a certain way that makes it very colorful. Something like that around you right now, right? Anyway, let's look at our mystery card. Yeah, let's see if this gives us some confirmation. Okay, well, maybe we need some water energy, right? I feel like we could really go with some kind of just the joy of the moment, right? A little bit of jubilation, a little bit of connection. Kind of thinking like a 6 of cups or a 3 of cups right now. Just sort of enjoy the concert. You're there, you bought the ticket, you went with your friends, just enjoy it. And you can get back to your work afterwards or tomorrow, you know. But maybe we'll see another hermit. Maybe we'll see, you know what, I realize that I don't need to be at the heavy metal concert because there's other things I need to be doing. You know, no sense buying the ticket and going there if we're going to be sort of elsewhere anyway, you know. So let's see what we have. 3 of Pentacles. Being in the right place, in the right context for the right work, right? This is the blood, sweat, and tears. You know what it's going to take to get this job done, so why not make it easier for yourself? Don't try to do all of this important work at the heavy metal concert. Do it in the right setting. Do it at home where the environment is appropriate. You want the cooperation not only between your body, your heart, your mind. You want the cooperation with your context as well, with your environment. You know, it doesn't make much sense to try to do this very important, you know, work in the middle of this noise, in the middle of, you know, unless it's unavoidable, obviously. But I think this card is really about recognizing the cooperation between content and context. Okay, what are we trying to do? What are we focused on? And is that appropriate for where we physically are in the world right now? Are you at the heavy metal concert and you're focused on, you know, writing your thesis paper or whatever, right? Or should you just be enjoying the concert? It's only 45 minutes to an hour, whatever. And then you can, you know, do the work in the right context. Just because you have that ability to sort of check out doesn't mean it's always the right thing, you know? And so I feel like the difficult part of this is just recognizing the ways that we do that. Not saying it's right or wrong, but I think it would be a lot easier for you. Things would function more smoothly if you did the right work in the right place, you know? And at least to recognize that we sometimes do that. Yeah, it's kind of the be here now kind of energy, right? And if you don't want to be, then don't be. Then be somewhere else. And maybe, you know, try to arrange life where we can be present in the moment in the right context. We're at the concert, we're listening to the music, enjoying our friends, whatever else. When I'm at home, at the office, I'm going to do the study or the research or write the paper or whatever. You know, when I'm in the studio, that's what I'm going to create. It's sort of context and content association here. So I like this reading for you, and I think this is really this is a really good energy for you. Yeah. We're going to do an extended reading as well. We're going to do a hexagram from the Jing. We'll do some oracle cards. It'll be a great time. There's a link in the corner. There's a link down below. New readings for Virgo Tuesday and Saturday. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.